It's like, people say the streamers, I'll say streeters, or you can say studios, they fall for the silicon dream, right? You look back, you think of another company, think of Uber and Lyft, right? They were booming, people were loving it, customers were loving it, they were moving fast and breaking things. And they I'm so sorry, we weren't even thinking about paying the drivers that much money, like, what? Oh. Now we're crashing and burning, and now the riders are like, well, what about us? What about our money? What about our health insurance? Like, we weren't even thinking about that. But here's the only difference now. Silicon Valley has never really battled with unions before. I'm Jordan Grier, and I'm a TV writer. I got into the union right at the peak of the pandemic. I was working as a showrunner's assistant, and things had slowed down by a lot. While there was a lot of downtime, I thought this was the perfect time for me to just work on my own thing. So I did something very personal, almost scary to admit. I wrote a story about that. Something that would probably embarrass myself, embarrass my parents, and I gave it to my boss, and just to give feedback, and she loved it so much that she was like, I need you in the room. You're a writer, you're not an assistant. I've been in this very weird situation where ever since that show had happened, a lot of shows have been canceling left and right, and that's due to, there was a merger with Warner Brothers and Discovery, and part of that fallout was our show. I've been having this huge difficulty ever since that one show I wrote for, finding another show to be in. What really sucked about when the strike happened that I got a phone call at the top of April about me being staffed on another show. And it was gonna be probably starting in middle of May. So, the strike happened. Look, there's people that are spiraling all around me, but I've trained myself to not take in that energy. Sometimes you have to let go of the things you can't control and focus on the things that you can control. And the more you can do that, the more you can stay leveled in this whole situation. So this is actually what keeps me sane. It's actually my schedule. Before I go to bed, I make a schedule of everything I'm planning to do, usually in 30-minute increments here. I usually write in advance of a quote here. So like, for example, today's quote is, anxiety is thought without control, flow is control without thought. There's not a day I don't use this. Look, this is a very historic moment for all of us. History repeats itself. The last time there was a strike like this was for residuals, but at the end of the day, we won that, and we wouldn't have careers without that. It's, writing has always been a career, it's never been a gig, and that's what we're fighting for, so.
Perfect, we're done. Cool.